You've probably met someone who seemed quiet, maybe even a little distant, but there was something different about the way they observed everything. Not louder, not more expressive, just deeper. And here's the interesting part. People with extremely high IQs rarely match the stereotype we've been taught to expect. They're not always the ones dominating conversations or showing off knowledge. In fact, many of the most intelligent minds operate in ways that are almost invisible on the surface. But once you understand the psychology behind it, the patterns become impossible to ignore. Psychology suggests that high intelligence isn't just about knowledge or memory. It's about how the brain processes information, how it filters the world, and how it constantly searches for patterns beneath the obvious. And that processing shows up in subtle behaviors that most people completely overlook. One of the first things you'll notice is how comfortable they are being alone. Not in a lonely way, but in a focused, intentional way. Their mind is rarely quiet. Even in silence, there's a constant stream of analysis, reflection, and idea building happening in the background. Solitude isn't an escape for them. It's where their thinking becomes sharper, clearer, more structured. While others seek stimulation from the outside, they generate it internally. At the same time, there's an almost constant curiosity running through their thoughts. Not just about big complex topics, but about everyday life. Why did someone react that way? What pattern is repeating here? Why do systems work the way they do? Their brain doesn't settle easily. It keeps digging, connecting, questioning. And that curiosity becomes a kind of mental engine that rarely turns off. You might also notice something that seems unusual at first. They often talk to themselves. Not randomly, but as a way to organize their thoughts. This kind of internal dialogue, sometimes spoken out loud, helps structure complex ideas and improve focus. It's not confusion, it's clarity in progress. Another subtle trait is their relationship with certainty. People with extremely high IQs are surprisingly comfortable saying, "I don't know," not because they lack knowledge, but because they understand how much there is to know. The more they learn, the more aware they become of complexity. So instead of jumping to conclusions, they pause. They leave space for better answers. And then there's overthinking, something that often gets labelled as a weakness. But in reality, it's the same cognitive depth that allows them to see multiple outcomes at once. Their brain doesn't just pick the first answer. It simulates possibilities, replays scenarios, and tests ideas internally. From the outside, it might look like hesitation, but internally, it's advanced processing. Interestingly, many highly intelligent people also have a strong sense of humour. But not just any humour, it's often layered, subtle, sometimes unexpected. That's because humour at that level requires the brain to recognise patterns, break expectations, and connect ideas that don't seem related at first glance. It's quick, complex thinking, disguised as something simple. They're also more willing to change their minds than most people. When new information comes in, they don't see it as a threat to their identity. They see it as an update to their internal model of the world. This kind of cognitive flexibility is one of the clearest signs of high-level thinking. It means they're not attached to being right. They're attached to understanding. Now think about this for a moment. How often are these behaviours misunderstood? Someone who enjoys being alone might be seen as distant. Someone who questions everything might be seen as difficult. Someone who changes their mind might be seen as unsure. But what if these are actually indicators of a brain that's processing reality on a deeper level? You'll also find that many of these individuals are more mentally active at night. When the world quiets down, their thoughts become louder. Without distractions, Their mind has the space to explore ideas more freely. It's not about insomnia, it's about uninterrupted thinking time. In conversations, they often observe more than they speak. They're paying attention to tone, behavior, patterns in interaction. Instead of reacting immediately, they process first. And when they do respond, it's usually more intentional, more precise. And underneath all of this, there's often a quiet search for meaning, not always in a dramatic or philosophical way, but in small, consistent questions. Why do people think the way they do? What drives behavior? What actually matters in the long run? It's a kind of awareness that never fully switches off. And maybe that's the real psychology of extremely high IQ. It's not just about intelligence as we usually define it. It's about a mind that keeps going. A mind that questions, connects, reflects, and adapts. A mind that sees layers where others see surfaces. So if you've ever felt like you think too much, question too often, or see things a little differently, it might not be a flaw. It might just be your brain doing exactly what it was built to do.